We continue the interpretation of Bent Flyvbjerg's How Big Things Get Done. This is the fifth part. Flyvbjerg's database reveals that most projects exceed their budgets, but 5 project types consistently perform well. These are solar energy, wind energy, traditional fossil fuel power plants, power transmission, and road construction. These projects, especially solar and wind energy, show strong recent development trends, comparable to the growth seen in the semiconductor industry. What makes these projects successful? It appears that, apart from management and planning, the inherent characteristics of a project play a crucial role in its success. The key to the success of these 5 projects lies in a critical feature they share: modularity. Modularity means that big things are assembled from small components, much like building with Lego blocks, where each block, when combined, can create something substantial. The manufacturing industry has long embraced modularity. For instance, assembling cars involves combining modularized components, resulting in highly efficient production. However, applying modularity to large engineering projects is still not widespread. Some simple housing constructions are already modular. Walls, beams, and other components are standardized parts, pre-manufactured in factories, and then assembled directly on the construction site. The current trend is to extend modularity to sophisticated, complex, and permanent structures, like opera houses. While each tile may be unique, requiring customization, effective design processes enable precise transmission of each tile's specifications to the factory, allowing for assembly on-site. This is a disruption to the traditional construction industry. For thousands of years, humans have built houses by transporting raw materials to the site and simultaneously measuring, making, and installing on the construction site. This approach requires workers to do many things, making it prone to problems, challenging to achieve precision, and susceptible to weather-related delays. Modular construction moves the production process to a workshop, a specialized factory with highly controlled environments, ensuring both speed and quality in production. Flyvbjerg explained that a key factor in the fast and high-quality construction of Terminal 5 at London Heathrow Airport was modular construction. Some schools in the UK pre-manufacture entire classrooms in factories, minimizing on-site assembly. A conservative estimate suggests a 1/3 reduction in construction costs through this approach. When the COVID-19 pandemic erupted, Wuhan quickly constructed numerous modular hospital wards and beds. The modularity allowed for swift assembly when needed and disassembly when not in use. One might argue that modular hospital wards are temporary and unsuitable for permanent residents. However, even high-end hotels are now modular. In Manhattan, a 26-story Marriott hotel has each room as a separate module manufactured in a factory in Poland, complete with furnishings. After completion, these rooms coincided with the pandemic, leading to a temporary halt in construction. Once resumed, the construction team assembled these modular rooms into a fully functional hotel in Brooklyn. Modularity not only ensures controlled manufacturing and lower costs, but also offers a crucial advantage: repetition. Instead of creating an entirely new large entity, you replicate a smaller, already manufactured unit multiple times. This high level of repeatability facilitates iteration and improvement for designers and factories, while workers benefit from rapid learning through repetition. Consider the grand wedding cake, often seen at weddings. Despite its impressive appearance and numerous layers, it is not challenging to make because it is modular. Many small sections are baked individually and then assembled to achieve the final result. During the construction of the Empire State Building, although the concept of modularity did not exist, each floor was designed to be as similar as possible, following the same operational procedures. Workers engaged in repetitive tasks, quickly discovering efficient methods, similar to an assembly line, producing one floor after another. Modularity doesn't necessarily require physical Lego-like modules. Essentially, modularity is a mindset, breaking down large projects into smaller tasks. Flyvbjerg was involved in leading a Danish aid project, providing 20,000 classrooms to Nepal. While a massive undertaking, breaking it down to individual classrooms, as modules made it less complex. The only complexity arose from Nepal's varied topography, leading to the design of 3 different classrooms. But only 3. Nepal lacked the conditions for manufacturing classrooms in factories like the UK, but on-site construction still involved a significant amount of repetitive tasks. Furthermore, classrooms, once constructed, were immediately usable, allowing for a phased delivery. Sometimes, 2 classrooms formed an entire school, ready for use once construction was approved by experts. The project, though seemingly large, became a series of small projects multiplied by n. However, not all projects can follow this approach. A company, for example, cannot replicate an employee easily. When you have only 5 employees, you might not need a dedicated accountant. Still, with 500 employees, not only would you need an accountant, but also a formal HR department dedicated to managing staff. If all 500 individuals are engineers, chaos in the company is inevitable. Many things change when scaled up. Systems that can be easily multiplied without a decrease in average performance are called scale-free systems. These systems benefit from being arbitrarily scalable. Achieving this requires minimal coupling or entanglement among individuals, ensuring that each task remains the same regardless of scale. Most large projects, however, do not fit this model. The graph from Flyvbjerg's database categorizes all project types by tail risk. The likelihood of a black swan event. Among the safest categories are the 5 mentioned earlier: solar energy, wind energy, traditional fossil fuel power plants, power transmission, and road construction. Their ease of modularity sets them apart. The riskiest 5 categories, ranked from the last to the 5th, are nuclear waste storage, hosting the Olympics, building nuclear power plants, large IT systems, and hydropower dams. These projects share the difficulty of achieving modularity. One might argue that the success of large projects, such as those undertaken by the infrastructure fanatic China, is due to organizational management. Why can China execute large projects effectively? It's because of a strong government. When the government is determined to pursue a project, various departments greenlight it without bureaucratic hurdles. However, examining this chart from Flyvbjerg challenges that assumption. The chart displays the annual completion of solar, wind, and nuclear power plants in China from 2000 to 2020. While China has indeed constructed numerous nuclear power plants, the growth of solar and wind energy projects is exponential, surpassing that of nuclear power plants every year. Even for a country with a penchant for infrastructure, nuclear power plants pose challenges. Solar energy, requiring only a solar panel for power generation, can scale up simply by increasing the number of panels. Wind energy, with a wind turbine generator comprising only 4 basic components: base, tower, generator cabin, and blades, can easily be assembled for power generation. Multiply this by n, and you have a vast wind farm. Projects that can be modularized should not be considered large projects. The ultimate solution for large projects lies in modularity. For instance, nuclear power plants are exploring a modular approach. Rather than having a large reactor, can small reactors be produced in a factory and then combined to create a nuclear power plant? While there is no definitive example yet, the potential exists. This is analogous to traditional hydropower stations, which are large, challenging to construct and maintain. Developers are now exploring smaller-scale hydropower stations that can be combined to form large hydroelectric plants. Factories, like Elon Musk's Gigafactory in Nevada, dedicated to manufacturing Tesla batteries, are examples of successful modular construction. It is currently the world's largest factory, built using a modular approach. Constructing one small workshop at a time, it became operational immediately upon completion, followed by the addition of more workshops, continuing construction, while already earning revenue. Both SpaceX, led by Musk, for rocket manufacturing, and Planet, a company creating satellites, adopt a modular approach. Madrid's subway system achieved success through modularity. All 76 stations were designed identically, without employing any new technology. The entire line was divided into many segments, with several construction teams working simultaneously, each segment's length aligning with the optimal distance a drilling machine could excavate. Not to mention the book The Box, How the Shipping Container Made the World Smaller and the World Economy Bigger, where shipping containers are the epitome of modularity. Before, unloading a large cargo ship at the port required manual labor, a cumbersome process that required careful consideration of cargo arrangements. With containers, cranes can directly load and stack them high. People say the shipping container fundamentally changed globalization. The approach discussed in this session is similar to what Nassim Taleb repeatedly emphasized in Antifragile: things that gain from disorder. He discussed how large projects exhibit fragility and are prone to black swan events, advocating for strategies that disperse risks. Throwing a large stone at someone can be deadly, but breaking it down into many small stones ensures safety with each impact. Drinking 5 bottles of white wine at once, and you'll end up in the hospital. But having a small cup every day, that's called cultivating one's sentiments. The wisdom behind this is not new, but without Flyvbjerg's research, we might not have recognized its fundamental significance in addressing the challenges of large projects. This concludes this part of the content. The next section will discuss adventurers and artisans.
If you feel there is value in this, please like, subscribe to this channel, and leave your thoughts or suggestions in the comments section. Let's grow together and read more good books.